much does the pace impact your ability to get those looks from distance that you like?
I mean, we got looks. I mean, they didn't drop, but I just think, in general, when we're playing our style of basketball, assists are generated just off the flow of the offense. And I think that for us, that starts with our pace, just our ability to get up and down the floor, our ability to move the basketball. And tonight we were just slow. So part of that is taking the ball off the net every single time. But another part of that is just, mentally, fighting through that, when shots aren't falling as easily as they have been, just continue to find ways to win.
I know this is just another game for you guys, but is there any aspect of it being disappointed when clearly the fan base was so excited to potentially clinch tonight and also being able to experience that in front of your home crowd?
For sure. I mean, like I said, the fans have been great all season. They've been great since I've been here. So obviously, it's disappointing for them. But, as a team, like I said, our focus is just continuing to get better every single day. And while this was a missed opportunity for a lot of different reasons, we will continue to press forward.
I brought a laptop down here. Oh, girl. Oh, did you?
Also just kind of looked that way. Yeah.
But I brought that one. Did I bring your laptop down? It's all right. Where's that one? I don't know. But I don't know. Oh, yeah. That's Mike's. If it is, then it's okay. I don't know who that took down. That's what I'm saying. It's down here. Oh, well then I guess I'm not touching. What? I think that's it. Yeah, right. That's my I had so many people ask me about this. For the games. Yeah, he didn't do the first one. I kid you not. Did you bring your laptop? No, you brought your laptop. I brought a laptop down. No. Oh, yeah.
Fox, where did you just see that one kind of get out of hand for you guys?
I mean, we weren't able to get stops when we needed, but when we also shot 18% from three. So,
And just how disappointing was it as a group for you guys, knowing just kind of the circumstances of tonight?
I mean, we lost the game. It's not the end of the world.
Aaron, what can you do to, I guess, play at the pace that you guys need to play at when a team like Minnesota is playing the defense that they're playing and they're being pretty good about not turning the ball over?
It starts with just getting stops. I mean, obviously we try to run after makes, but it's much easier to run after getting a stop. So it's not always about just making them turn the ball over, but we have to just find a way to come up with stops and get a defensive rebound, and it'll be much easier to run.
De'Aaron, you had 20 in the first half. What did they do to slow you down in the second half, and did the spacing go away with the three ball not falling?
Yeah, I mean that's a long team. They started to fill gaps more, didn't leave guys on an island. So I feel like the help defense was a lot better in the second half than it was in the first.
De'Aaron, now you have the chance of doing this on the road. Is it frustrating that you won't be able to do it with the fans and be able to see the reaction?
I don't think it's frustrating clinching a playoff spot, even if we're in a different country. So, nah.
HB talked about a little about the pace. I mean, did you see how much did that kind of disrupt what you guys were looking to do offensively? Maybe not being as quick as usual.
I mean, we have to be better defensively. I think that's where it starts. Like I said, we run pretty well after makes, but when you're playing a team like that who's a really good half-court team, you have to be able to get stops to get out and run and just try to get them out in transition.
De'Aaron, there was a lot of anticipation and build up for this game. Did you guys kind of share in that? Do you have that same sense of anticipation for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, guys wanted to clinch a playoff spot at home, and wanted to share with our fans. But like I said, at the end of the day, regardless of where we do it at, I think it's going to be people are going to be appreciative and people are going to love it. So.
As you've said a couple times, it doesn't matter sort of when and where you clinch. I mean, you've been here longer than just about anybody. What will it mean when that happens? Given your history here,
I think it's big for myself, for the fan base. Obviously, not being in the playoffs for 16 years, it's going to be a big deal. But like I said before, it's a step into it's a step closer to making your true goal, and every competitor wants to win a championship, and that's just one step that you have to take to get there.
Least amount of triples you guys have knocked down in a game. Is there any aspect of like ball movement or shot selection that stood out to you there, or is it as simple as shots not going down?
I think there were times where they took away the three, but I also think we missed a good amount of open threes tonight. We didn't shoot as many as we want to, but like I said, I think they just did a good job of being able to take the three away.
What? Anything good? A little buzzkill tonight. Yeah. He's still fine. Now we might have to go to Portland. That's fine.
I give Minnesota credit, man. They came in there and came in here and did a fantastic job. I start with the kid, Jaden McDaniels. We had no answer for him to start the game, and the way he started the game offensively helped him get a lot of confidence, as well as helped his team get a lot of confidence. So great game by him. And then they just had other guys like Naz Reid, who's always been a handful of us, step up and play big for him. The kid Jalen Noel came off the bench and played extremely well. And when you get those types of contributions, as well as Conley going 6 of 8 from the floor, when you get those types of contributions from your quote-unquote role players in a tough ball game, it makes it tough. But I give them a lot of credit for the way they came out and aggressively took it to us on the offensive end of the floor by scoring, and then defensively, I thought they were really good too. They pushed out on our 3-point shooters. Their length is really good. They made us rush quite a few threes that made it tough. And our guys, the one thing we did really well was, we only had 2 turnovers in the second half. They turned the ball over a lot, but we didn't get enough ball pressure to force many turnovers tonight, and so they definitely won the possession game because of it. But against this team, we got to get out and run. We can't wrestle with them and go against their set defense like we did as much tonight.
Mike, before the game, we were talking about possibility of distractions, how your team handles those things. Do you feel like any of the circumstances of tonight may have played a factor, maybe the anticipation within your group, and maybe take you out of your game a little bit?
No, because I feel like they've defended us well throughout most of the year. And I think we beat them once in a double overtime game, and we went small, and Trey hit some threes to get Rudy out the paint, and played a little different. But they've been a handful for us the entire season. So if we face them again, we're going to have to try to figure something out, and it's going to have to be more of a defensive oriented game, because at the end of the day, they're just going to push out on our guys when you got a 3-time defensive player of the year sitting in the paint, impacting you at the rim. They're going to give up those twos, and we're going to have them at scoring 115 points on 46% shooting. That's enough to win the game. So we're going to have to score twos the way we do, but we're going to have to garner some stops against these guys, especially early, so that they don't have the confidence they had throughout the course of the ball game.
The guys have mentioned getting stops, leading to you guys being able to play more with the pace that you want to play. How'd you feel about just the way you guys played defensively, given that the Wolves didn't turn the ball over all that much, and it prevented you guys from playing with that pace you typically play with?
Yeah, I don't think we played well defense. We played in spurts, and we always talk about getting more consistent. So that's obviously a theme tonight. But what was tough was, seeing, the way that Jade McDaniels was rolling early in the game. That just gave him and their sense of team an amount of confidence, and it didn't allow us to get out and run, because every time he touched it, he scored, it seemed like, in that first quarter. And so, having said that, we have to do a better job from the outset of trying to get stops against this team, because if we don't, we're going to be going against a set defense all the time, and their length is tough, and they're physical. They'll hold and grab and push and all those other things, and it's a good team. Finch does a fantastic job with those guys.
Mike, what'd you think of just the energy in the building and the anticipation and the way the fans showed up for you guys tonight?
No, I've never doubted our fans. We got the best fans in the NBA. The building's always electric. Guys look forward to playing in front of them. Not even just like a night like tonight. Shoot, they look forward to playing in front of them all the time because of how electric it is. And you hear from, your opponents around the league when they come in here, even the officials, they talk about how the energy here is really unmatched around the league. And so you love that.
Yeah, Coach, with one of your defensive staples being physicality without fouling, what did you see in that aspect tonight, and what do you need to do to be better there?
I know at the beginning of the game we weren't physical at all, and like I said, we it's something that across the board we have to get more consistent with. Even our pick and roll coverage, when you're guarding the ball, you hear the call of where to send the ball. And what we're supposed to do is when you hear the call, you're supposed to 1-2 into the body and into the ball. And not many of our guys do that consistently. Davion does, and Davion's an elite defender. But most times we wait, we get hit, and then we're chasing the ball downhill, and it causes a domino effect, especially how small we are at times on the backside. So, again, it's something we're going to keep working on. It's something we're going to keep preaching. But we have to somehow try to do it, not just in pick and roll situation. The kid, Jay McDaniels, just drove at us, and we kept backing up and trying to stop him at the rim. He's 6'10". It's going to be hard to do that. But those types of things, getting up into the ball and being physical at the point of the ball, so he doesn't have the ability to get downhill, and then it's a challenge at the rim that we're probably not going to win because of our size. So those are types of things that we're going to have to do a better job of, is getting up into the ball with better ball pressure, being more physical, and not allowing any blow-bys in order for us to be able to defend at a higher level.
Mike, you mentioned the rushing threes maybe early on. You mentioned rushing some of your three-point shots early on offensively. You guys only made 5. I think it's the lowest you had all season. What do you make of just the shooting from 3 tonight? And was any of that self-inflicted, or was most of it Minnesota's defense?
Oh, no, you got to, like I said, you give Minnesota credit, because they, with Rudy Gobert, they kind of defended us how we used to defend people when I was in San Antonio. We had Tim Duncan and David Robinson back there. They push up, and force these guys to drive into Tim or David, and that's what they did tonight. They screw it. If we're going to give up a 2, we're going to give up a 2. And like I said, again, I feel like in a situation like that, against a team like that, especially going 5 for 27 from the 3, 115 points is enough to win. I mean, even you look at Golden State last night. They held them to 96 or 98, whatever it is, points. And that's why they had a chance to win down the stretch. We have to do a better job. We're not going to be able to allow them to shoot 50-something% from the 2 and 30-something% from the 3, because it's going to be a grinded out physical type game, and we got to get stopped so we can get out and transition before their defense is set, and maybe get some threes because our spacing is right. If we don't, we're moving around or trying to do our stuff. When they do close out on us, they're closing out with some pretty big bodies.
Mike, this has been a season of learning and teaching and all that stuff. Is this one of those games where we talked about it before, where it could be a positive if, going into a game like this, but can you still take some positives out of it and some teaching moments out of this game about how to, handle a chaotic game that has so much on the line?
I'm a firm believer, win or lose, you can always take things away from a ball game. And it wasn't in the second half we had 8 turnovers in the first half, or 7 or something like that. In the second half, our guys went out there and they had 2 turnovers, so there were some things. We had 17 second chance points, I think. There were some things that we did well. You think back of the game, and guys are diving on the ground, coming up, trying to fight for loose balls and all that stuff. And in some of our fouls, I felt we fouled the right way. So there are some things we can take away from this ball game. But I know against that particular team in the Timberwolves, we're going to have to be more impactful defensively than what we were tonight, and not allow guys like especially the role guys. Jane McDaniel starts 6 for 6 from the floor, or whatever he started, and he's their leading scorer at 20 points a game. You getting a guy like that, and that's no knock against him, but that's how hard it is when you have 1, 2, you got 7 guys in double figures. With him being your leading scorer. And I thought Noel played well, and then Reed. And so what that means, in my opinion, especially the way that they're defending us, is we keep doing what we're doing offensively, keep taking the 3 ball if it's there, but we just have to find a way to generate more stops and make the game a little harder for their role players, so the role players aren't shooting 55, 65, 70% from the floor against us while getting double digits. Thank you, guys.